Welcome once again here to Indiana University South Bend Media Day. I'm Paul Condry. Glad you can join us here today. Joined by former Penn standout Sara Doi. Glad to have her with us here today as we celebrate Titans women's basketball here at the Student Activity Center. Sara, for you, this is kind of a very unique dynamic. You grew up and you played at Penn High School, really for one of the great coaches we've had around. And I've known Christy since she was playing at Bethel back in the days, and she is just a dynamic personality. Then you go off to college and you decide that, hey, listen, I'm going to go play for another legend, really an Indiana basketball Hall of Famer in Lori Culler at Huntington. And then you decide you're going to make the trip here to come back closer to home to be next to your family, and you're playing for another great guy and Steve Bruce. So let's just talk about some of the knowledge you've been able to learn for those three coaches I mentioned.
Yeah, definitely starting out in high school with Coach K, we learned a lot about discipline and the fundamentals, and she really harped those. So then moving into college, it was great to play for Lori Culler and just implement the things I learned from Coach K with what Coach Culler was doing and really harping on defense and stuff like that. And then to come here and play for Coach Bruce, too, it's just been a great experience, and I'm super thankful to be where I am.
One of the things that people have told me over the years that every time you play for a different coach, you take a little bit of their personality, you take a little bit of some of the things they teach. They may teach it differently, they may coach it differently, even though the end game is the same. And so it's so important to be able to deal with all the different personalities, the different egos and whatnot. So talk about learning with three different bosses, as they say, because once you get into the real world, you're going to have multiple bosses. Most likely. So what did you learn about the next chapter of your life when basketball is over from having three different bosses for the first three stops on your basketball tour?
Yeah, definitely from high school I learned do what you need to do, put your head down, go to work. And then kind of like Coach K, she has a demanding present, more discipline, I would say. And so just learning how to keep your head down, keep working, and do what you need to do. And then with Coach Culler, she was a little bit more laid back, but still expected us to do the things that we needed to do with a little bit more freedom. And so just learning to stay accountable, keep others accountable with her. And then here, taking all of those things, and Coach Bruce, you kind of get the mix of both. So It's been perfect. And then moving forward, throughout my profession in the future, I'll be disciplined, great time management through playing sports all these years and going to school and getting good grades. So just all that plays into it.
Absolutely. Now I want you to talk about the role that you were thrust into when you came here at IU South Bend. There was a lot of youngsters on this program, and you were brought in and you immediately became a calming presence for some of those high-energy youngsters. And we can talk about the guard gals, and we can go up and down the line of some of the gals you've influenced. But having that calming influence, and as I broadcast games here for many, many years, the one thing that I noticed is that similar to the great Penn football program, you were just like the quarterback that the Penn football program needed. You were just the quarterback here. Perfect mix from what you've been able to put together. So talk about being that calming influence, being a mentor for those young gals.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of great underclassmen. They're really going to do well in this program, and just being able to be that kind of calming presence, like you said, and just kind of reel everybody back in when we're a little bit out of control is good for this team, and my biggest role, I would say. And like I said, they're great, they're fun, they're energetic, they love what they do, and it's just awesome to be here.
All right, so you take a look at the production last year, averaged about 13 points and 2 or 3 assists per game. Does Coach Bruce sit down with you and say, hey, listen, Sara, I need to average 20 a game, or I need for you to average 6 a game? And I know that you wouldn't have any problem with what he asks, because I know that's the personality that you are. But do you look at those kind of numbers and say, hey, listen, really all that matters is that we won 25 games last year, but we should win 35 games this year, right? Mm-hmm. Where are you at in that?
Yeah, I think it's just the balance between doing too much and then not being aggressive enough is where I'm at. And so But again, at the end of the day, all that matters is a W on the scoreboard.
Okay, let's kind of take a broad paintbrush and take a look at the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. You played in the Crossroads League, very competitive league. Now you're playing in the CCAC. Give us an idea on how the two leagues compare, and what do you like about playing in the CCAC?
They're definitely comparable. The CCAC is super competitive, just like the Crossroads League is. I would say anybody can win in this conference on a given night. It's definitely up for grabs and whoever wants it that day. Crossroads, it was more of like you have those 2 or 3 teams that really dominate, and sometimes you can touch them, sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, both leagues are super competitive, and it's been great playing in both and playing against that type of caliber teams.
Well, this year is going to be very unique because you're going to be reunited with one of your high school teammates in Tia Chambers. Tia scored 1,257 points in her time at IU Kokomo. So you're going to have an opportunity to finish out your guys' college careers together. So how important and how neat is that for you to experience that going out?
It's super important to me. Like, to be reunited with Tia when she came to visit, she was like, we could play again together. I was like, yeah, you just got to come here. And so for me, it was super simple. Like, just come, Tia. We can play again, be reunited. And it's just super awesome to have her here.
Anytime you bring in a new person into the program, and you were the new person at one time, sometimes it can mess up the chemistry. Sometimes it can enhance the chemistry. So talk about how Tia is going to enhance this chemistry.
Tia will definitely enhance this chemistry. I think she's going to come in and play a big role in that post position and be able to battle with those big girls that we face.
When you look at the overall depth of this basketball team and the roster as it stands right now, between Emma Fisher, we talked about Katie and Maddie Gard, and Tia yourself, Rachel, this is the team that really, when you think about it, can go 9 and maybe 10 deep. This is maybe the deepest team I've ever seen here.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be huge for us because we do have some foul trouble tendencies. And then fatigue, just fresh legs is going to be huge because we like to pressure the ball.
Sara Doi, the pride of Penn High School, is going to be reunited with Tia Chambers, her high school teammate, and, of course, with Rachel Robout. It's a really great senior group that's going to be make its mark here at the Student Activities Center. I'm Paul Condry. Thanks for joining us here on IU South Bend Women's Basketball Media Day.